This is an ENSWAP conference. ENSWAP stands for European Network of Steiner Waldorf Parents. ENSWAP was founded in 2007, only it wasn't called ENSWAP then yet. And we have one of the founding parents here, that's Hilde from Denmark. She's been with ENSWAP from the very beginning. And Christopher has been with us also from that time. And ENSWAP is, this is ENSWAP's 11th conference. I just counted it, I hope I'm right. And, but this is only the third conference which has a theme. Beforehand, it was really about networking and meeting each other. And a few years ago, we decided to find a focus to every conference. And it started in 2016 when in Hungary we had the Y Waldorf conference. And in 2017 when we had at the Adagi Waldorf School in Riga our conference on building bridges. And this is now the third themed conference. But first of all, I will, before I introduce the topic, I will talk about ENSWAP itself. ENSWAP, as its name says, is a networking organization. Our main aim is to learn about each other, to learn from each other, to meet people, Waldorf parents from as many countries as possible. And we all, what is very interesting is that when I first went to an ENSWAP conference in 2013, I thought, well, in every country, the Waldorf schools are organized just a bit differently. The state funding is different. There are differences, but still, when I went there, it turned out that we actually had the same problems. We had the same fun things. And it really gave me strength to... oh, I just see Margareta coming, sorry. So that I... okay, hi. Okay. And so our aim is to learn from each other and even to help each other in any way that we can. With this helping each other, we also have... now we are trying to reach high, and we would really love to have a contact person from every country that we could get into our network and who would be the meeting point of the ideas. But we will talk about that tomorrow in a bit more depth. But please keep in mind during the whole conference that we are actually looking for active parents who can help us in ENSWAP's work. So you are invited to think about how you could contribute and help this movement. Okay. I would also like to introduce you the members who are our core group members at the moment, because ENSWAP has a core group. The core group's tasks are to oversee things and to coordinate ENSWAP's works. We have Hilde as the core group member. We have Adam also. Christopher is our advisor. Christina is a core group member as the organizer of this conference. And we also have Karin Deurer from Austria, who unfortunately couldn't be with us. And even though you don't know those people, but there's also something that I really can't miss, I would like to thank 4 past members of ENSWAP who are not in the ENSWAP team any longer, but who did so much for ENSWAP that I would really like to mention them. And that's Marian Frank from France. It's Anita Lexina from Latvia. It's Monica Picchi from Florence. And Gitte Lassen from, well, Denmark, Iceland, and Italy. So, but I didn't want to miss this opportunity to thank them. Okay, the topic. digital reality in the Waldorf School. When we were thinking last year about what to have as the topic of this conference, it was kind of obvious. Everyone was talking about this, how to deal with this problem or not. That's already the first thing. Is it a problem? Is it not a problem? How to deal with this whole digitalization? It's really a hot topic. If you look around you, I just looked on my desk, and because I'm very much into this topic, and I thought I'd just pick up some things which they really live on my desk, these things. That's the Strüvelpeter from Germany. That's a booklet on media competency and Waldorf education, which exists in German, English, and Spanish, I believe, and half in Hungarian. And also the Strüvelpeter 2.1, which is for parents, which only exists at the moment in German, but I heard that it will be translated, or it is being translated. And just to step outside of the Waldorf School, I also have the digital competence framework for citizens living, I think Margareta has it living on her desk as well, which is the EU's recommendation on what a good European citizen would be able to do in this digital terrain. Also, there's lots more, but we all talk about it, and there are lots of people that also do things about it. There's an enormous amount of research on this topic, and tomorrow Margareta is going to talk to us about research and good practices. So, but also researchers, the interesting thing is, of course, as researchers are, such people, they don't agree on everything at all. There are some researchers who say that it will, not within the Waldorf world, but generally, who say that it will take 1,000 years of evolution for the human brain to adapt fully, in a healthy way, to digitalization. Other researchers say, oh, no way, people created this whole digitalization, so we can deal with it. But how are we with this digitalization? How am I in this topic? I have a Facebook account. Please put up your hands if you have a Facebook account. Okay? Who are those who really use this Facebook account as well? It's not nothing judgmental or whatever. I just would like to know, do you use it regularly? Who looks at it every day? Okay, thank you. It was I would have liked to see this. I'm on Facebook because I went to a course where I had to be on Facebook to keep in touch with the members of this course, but I don't use it. And what I realized is, here I realized this age gap with my children who use Facebook, and when I told them that I don't reply to friend requests, they told me that I was rude, that it was like not greeting someone on the street. So it set me thinking on, yes, there is this gap. They use it totally differently than we use it. Also, do we always have a choice? Do I have a choice when I use digitalization? Do I know what I'm doing? Recently, I think a couple of months ago, I got an update on the Microsoft privacy statement. I don't know how many of you saw that. But when preparing for this conference, I thought I was going to look into it. But as I was going by train, I printed it out, thinking it was, I didn't look at it, just pushed on print. This is Microsoft's privacy statement. This is nothing against Microsoft. I'm sure every digital body has a privacy statement like that, where they actually say you have choices about the data we collect. When you are asked to provide personal data, you may decline. But if you choose not to provide data that is necessary to provide a product or feature, you may not be able to use the product or feature. So does this give me a choice? I can't manage at my work without my Microsoft thing. Then they list what they collect from us. And they also say, we share your personal data with your consent or as necessary. Everything is covered. I think this sentence would have been enough as a privacy statement. But because they use it whenever they want to. They decide when it's necessary or not. And these were just some nice things that I just grabbed out of my everyday life. And when I was a child, as my children are now, I was very much into science fiction. I still am. But I really, there were all these dreams that we will have a telephone on which we can see each other. That was in the far future. It was a wonderful idea. There were cars which could fly. Okay, that's not that general nowadays yet. But actually, that future that we imagined then is partly here. And it's really going very fast. I realize it when I look into it. I was actually at university when I saw my first floppy disk. If I tell youngsters today that that's when I first saw my floppy disk, they say, what's that? It goes so incredibly fast. And then we get to the children. They seem so incredibly digital ready. They are able to do everything. I'm not. I do have problems with my computer and in my everyday life. But I'm very lucky because I have an incredible help desk. Conversation with the help desk goes like this. Hi, is that the help desk? Yes, Mom. I can't manage this PDF file. Help, what can I do? Have you pushed that button on the right-hand corner? No, I haven't. Do that. Pushing button. Oh, it's working. Yes, that's why it's there. They know much more about that, these kind of things. But does that mean that we should just say, okay, let's let them do that? From early age, little children are able to work on iPhones, on tablets, but are they really able to do that in a healthy way? We are going to look at that topic as well, and how to be human in this age, and how to raise our children healthy in this. And Christopher is going to give a lecture on that. And all these futuristic things, like artificial intelligence, will be talked about tomorrow by Ben Tyson, who is actually my son. And yes, just gathering my thoughts. Yes, okay. So there is this one stream who says, okay, let them do whatever they want to because they are able to deal with digitalization. There is another stream who say, no, my child won't meet anything in the digital world until they are 15 or something. But I think there is a healthy middle way, and what is most important is to make children media competent. For me, those are the key words in media education. Media competent doesn't mean that they have to use computers. Media in the way of books, articles, music, television, anything that's around them. And there are some wonderful ways of making children healthy and strong in this way, some of which will be introduced by Julia Kernbach on Saturday. Sunday is the third one. On Sunday morning. And Yes, I could go on endlessly about this because it has had my interest for the last 2-3 years, and I read so much research and so much about media competency and digitalization in the Waldorf School. But we have this whole weekend to talk about this. And as it's almost time, I'm just going to give you a little quote, just one sentence. A good toy is 10% toy and 90% child. So, thank you very much and for your attention.